Hello everyone, it's Old Guardian here. The Cenarion family meets Blackfathom Deeps for the first time, and in this Warcraft Rumble dungeon guide I have an excellent army for you that can clear Blackfathom Deeps with Cenarion. First, let's take a quick look at the dungeon mechanics. The first boss, Grglmrgl, there's basically two strategies that you can use for Grglmrgl. Either you spam it with Unbounds, and it is fairly simple to take down with Unbounds, or you go into a longer battle of attrition, try to take maybe both towers, at least this tower, and try to get your troops through here. But there's this choke point here which makes it a little awkward, and then there's going to be a lot of free Murlocs, because there will be Murlocs here, there will be Murlocs here, so they're all going to shoot down at your troops, so you have to have some way to handle them. And then these Murlocs here are going to run to this platform, and then the southernmost of them is actually going to be able to shoot at your base from there. So they need something like a safe pilot or Wellbacks or something to be able to handle those. So over time I have grown more and more used to using the Unbound strategy for Grglmrgl, and even if you need a couple of tries to get it done, then it's the first boss, it's pretty quick to restart, so overall that just seems to spend less time than any other strategy on this boss. The second boss, Baron Aquanis, is known for many gargoyles and also 3 Dark Eye miners that will spawn whenever there's enough gold to be mined on the veins. So for this one, the gargoyles are definitely a problem. Once you're lower level, then gargoyles can really easily kill your base. Early on lower difficulty levels, you can just attack here, take this tower and move through here and kill the boss. But on higher difficulty levels, you typically also need to take this tower. There's also a third tower there, but I never take that, I just ignore that one. You typically need both of these 2 towers so that your base will not succumb to gargoyle attacks, because otherwise gargoyles are just going to be attacking you too much. However, once I started putting Chimera into my army, I have noticed that sometimes I am able to just repel the initial attack and have enough troops go over here that I can actually take down the boss. It doesn't happen very often, but it has happened a few times. It's not something that I actively pursue, but if I see an opportunity, I'm more like opportunistic about that. If I see that, okay, the first attack is coming hard from here, and I'm able to fight back, and I'm able to destroy it, and I have good forces left, then I try to make the push. But otherwise, I just try to take the towers first and then work on the boss. And the third boss, Aquanis, is a 3-headed Hydra, 1 head over here and another over there, the third one over here. And once you have killed all the 3 heads once, then this waterfall is going to go away and all 3 heads will spawn over there and you have to fight against them again. Other than that, Aquanis is really going to swarm you with stuff. As you can see, there's already a bunch of stuff here ready to swarm me. And you really need a way to handle swarms with some AoE minis in this one. And also it's super important to kill this head and take this tower right at the start, because there's not a lot of gold in this map. There's a vein over here and another vein over there, so not very accessible, and chest is over there. So securing this area means that 1 head is down and you have secured this gold vein, and then you're in a good position to defend this and attack from here and also get some attacks going over there. And that's pretty much what happens at Aquanis. This is my army for Blackfathom Deeps for the Cenarion family. I use this with both leaders. I use it with Cenarius and I also use this with Onu. So the army is an execute that is off-slotted. The main purpose of the execute is to give bloodlust to your minis so that they will shoot a little bit harder. Then I have a Bog Beast. I have Skeleton Party here with Ritual of Rhyme, but I also did it without Ritual of Rhyme, so you can also use a regular one. As long as you don't use 5 men, because you really don't want them to be taunting, that would be bad. But Corpse Run or even with no talent is perfectly fine. Then I have a Pyromancer, I have Wellbacks, and I have an Earth Elemental. So this army is basically using my old basic Blackfathom Deeps strategy of killing the first boss with Unbound spam. So I have Earth Elemental to tank, Skeleton Party to deal the main damage, Wellbacks can assist with a little bit of damage, and Execute to give Bloodlust to the damage dealers so they deal more damage out there. And then for the second map, we have the Pyromancer, which is the key mini there, shooting down those gargoyles and groups of flyers that are coming. I can take the second tower with the Wellbacks plus the Earth Elemental, so Wellbacks can be dropped into the poison, and then they will just pop and start shooting while Earth Elemental is tanking. And at the boss I can get an assault going with these, with the Unbounds and with the other minis. I can't do it with Cenarius though, because there seems to be a bug right now where if I play Cenarius in the second boss, then Cenarius gets poisoned instantly and just stays poisoned until it dies. So yeah, that's a little bit inconvenient. Can't really use Cenarius there. And then for the third map, well, if I'm doing it Cenarius, it's going to be hilarious because of all the treants. There's so many squads, and Cenarius is going to summon so many treants when those die. So that's just awesome. With Onu, it's a little bit more difficult, but still doable as well. So this kind of Unbound spam strategy for the first boss, and then using countermeasures against the flyers for the second boss, and just rolling over the third boss works with the Cenarion family as well. I do wonder, Cenarion family might give some opportunities for death ball building, Cenarius with the heals, Onu with the ability to deploy at the death ball. So I think I'm also going to try to build some kind of a death ball strategy for this one. But this was like the low-hanging fruit, just going with the Unbound strategy, and that also works with this family. And this is what it all looks like in action. So here we go, Blackfathom Deeps with Cenarius against Grglmrgl using the basic Unbound strategy. Didn't quite have the optimal hand here. The best possible hand would be Earth Elemental first. I would place it there where I placed Whelpex, and then the Skeleton Party. This time my hand wasn't quite as good, so now when an Ogre Mage spawns like that and you have some resources available, you want to hold those resources back, and then you want to let the Ogre Mage go away, and then you want to get your assault in. So this still worked out quite well actually, because that one Ogre Mage went away and the other one spawned not on the Skeleton Party side, so it's actually completely fine. And Grglmrgl, boom boom, and it just goes down. Then on the Baron Aquanis. So I'm expecting some gargoyles to arrive, and here the gargoyles come like clockwork, but I happen to have the Pyromancer ready. Pyromancer is going to attack that. I also have an Earth Elemental that's going to help me take the first tower. So we have some Whelpex, we have Pyromancer, we have Earth Elemental. The first tower is going to fall, everything's going perfectly, and that's a good start. And then I want to start looking into taking the second tower, the leftmost tower. I would need Earth Elemental plus Whelpex to do that. So let's see when I can gather enough gold. I have already at this point tried Cenarius on a previous attempt, and yeah, Cenarius just did not survive. Well, now that the Bog Beast tanked a little bit, then I saw an opportunity, and I actually sent the Skeleton Party and Whelp Eggs to take the tower. Sadly, there was a Drake in response, and that Drake means that I just won't be able to get that tower quite yet. And the base can handle an individual Drake. Drake doesn't deal that much damage. I don't want the tower to come back up. I want to drop an Execute. Could have dropped the Execute a little early, would have gotten some damage into the Drake as well. Double gargoyles coming up top, but that's no problem. I can send the Pyromancer to fight against them. Pyromancer fights against two gargoyles, the same as one because of the splash damage. And the Skeleton Party can handle and prevent the tower from getting up. Now I'm sending Whelpex. I'm popping the Whelpex in the acid pool, and then the Whelpex can handle everything because the Griffin Rider was focused on fighting against the base. And everything looks quite alright at the moment here. There's some stuff coming. I try to position the Pyromancer so that it doesn't go in the Bat Rider's splash, and then it's ready to fight against the Gargoyle as well. And now I have two towers, and I am ready to start pushing. I would also want to get to do some mining. Temporarily lost the base, but there's still Skeleton Party out there and stuff, so it's gonna be fine. Now we're gonna start to push against the boss. So I'm trying to send a little bit of tank power from here. I'm not sure. The Rhyme Skeletons are fine, but I actually think I do prefer them, the non-Rhyme version for this map. Although here I get to position them fairly nicely. I'm not sure if all of them have range to hit the boss. I don't think they actually do. But it's okay. Yeah, one of them is now out of reach of the boss. Anyway, getting some Bloodlust out there. Getting some serious damage in. I thought I would be able to finish the boss with these, but now it starts to look like I actually won't. The Pyromancer keeps blasting. So you need to sometimes be a little bit careful on how much you commit, when are you going to be able to actually kill the boss with your assault, and when you need to focus on defense. So here I allowed the gargoyle to come in because I was confident that the boss is going to die, so I can lose the tower, no problem, and boom. And only one more boss to go, Akumai the Hydra, and here actually I can do this without playing Cenarius, but Cenarius is just so hilarious with the treants. Now there's a Pyromancer giving Cenarius some firepower. There's a Bog Beast that's going to tank for Cenarius. And anything that gets killed within the first seconds of entering Cenarius' reach is going to be turned into a treant. And that means with all the squads coming in, that means just a treant after treant after treant. So here we go. Let's get some treants rolling. I can also try to mine there. And I see another squad coming from the other side, and I'm obviously interested in turning those into treants as well. Can I just get the Pyromancer out there? Boom, that's treants. This is pretty hilarious. Those Ritual of Rhyme skeletons on that bridge can be really strong. Here I just placed them at a little bit wrong time. I didn't notice that there were those harpies coming. So harpies got the first hits in. So that was obviously a problem then. But be that as it may, it's gonna be fine. Here we have Cenarius fighting against the Hydra head. Trying to get some support for Cenarius going. Being a little bit slow about it. Maybe. Oh no, the other team's almost at the waterfall. Just got the Hydra head down just in time. Here a little bit wasted Wellbex out there. I thought I want to get the Meeting Stone, but I had the Bog Beast coming for it anyway, so I could have just spent the Wellbex on Assault. And getting some skeletons out there. I actually forgot that they have Ritual of Rhyme, so they're not going to be moving from there, but then again they died to the chain lightning anyway. And now, look at that, look at that, look at all the treants. Pyromancer blasting, and treants arriving in large quantities. That is so hilarious. Just the endless stream of treants. Not sure if I really should have executed there. I guess Pyromancer damage is fine. And one more hit to go. This time, the Quillbore plus everything just managed to ambush my Cenarius this time. No, and I lost the ability to create more treants. But it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. So many Quillbores. That's just... that's all. I don't like that they get to mine. I had also not mined myself. I had been focused on the attack because I genuinely thought that that attack would kill all of the bosses. But turns out that it didn't, so I will have to rebuild. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to evaluate. Just, is your attack powerful enough to kill everything, or do you have to consider something else too? And let's get another Cenarius going at. I mean, this Cenarius push is going to handle it. So building some pretty powerful Cenarius pushes, even with the army that's mainly focused on the Unbounds. I really want to revisit this dungeon and try to build something that where Cenarius and Onu just push with a death ball. But I mean, Unbound is just so simple and fast, so it's hard to contest that when it comes to efficiency. And here boss goes down, but we'll see. Anyway, that's one way to do Blackfathom Deeps with Cenarion family. Thank you for watching. Click like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and a special thanks to all of my Patreon supporters, YouTube members and Twitch subscribers who make all of these videos possible.